video about SiteAudit Analyzer TCO analysis. What we'll do in this video is give you a step-by-step instruction on how to use the tool. The tool is designed to show the current state for a customer and then the future state, and typically this is used in an audit situation or assessment situation. I'm going to start by selecting a data source. So here I could select an on-site database, or if I was using hosted, compact, I could select a source that's in the cloud as well. Then once I've selected that, then I'll bring in the data by selecting Refresh All. And once that's complete, then I'll use the TCO analysis setup form in order to bring the right information into the right worksheets. So I'll select Inventory and Model Cost. And I'll check for new devices that I don't have in my model cost sheet. Then if I have some specific requirements for the location, then I'll add the company name or department, the different physical locations where devices may be located. And then I have an option to either assign devices to those locations, to this form here, or to go right into the TCO inventory worksheet and select them here. In some cases, it probably is easier to use the worksheet here, so I can even copy. And once I've done that, I can set different parameters, which will help me in understanding the state of the current fleet. I might want to set an age parameter. I can set utilization parameters. And once I've done that, then it'll give me a suggested action based on the age of the device and the amount of utilization it sees. In this case, the suggested action would be to remove. On this device, the suggested action would be to keep, and so forth. Now, I can use those suggested actions as guidelines or ignore them completely and just focus on perhaps cost and volume for those devices. And once I've done that, then I can establish what cost basis I want to use for measuring the current and future cost. And you can select the current cost per page, or you can select a hardware supplies service cost that you may or may not have, but you could certainly add later. And to keep things simple, I'm just going to use the cost per click or cost per page in order to demonstrate this analysis. So here you can see these are the costs per page. Over in column here, I can see what the future cost would be without taking any action. So the actions I can take include keeping, removing, replacing a device, or moving it to a new location. So the first thing I would want to do is I would identify those devices that are have a high cost, monthly cost, and I might want to remove those. So I can remove those like that, and then its current cost would not become part of the future cost. Or I might decide in some cases that I want to replace a device, perhaps with a newer device that I have available for use. And this allows me to bring in devices that I'm going to recommend to the customer and include them with the cost, volume, and inventory analysis. Some of the things I might want to do, again, is I might want to eliminate devices that are more expensive or devices that don't have much volume at all. So I might just remove, say, these devices here. This device here I might replace. And there may be others that I'm going to move to a new location. So I could move, for example, this device and its volume over to building B. I could select that in building B, moving it to floor 5, and then location again is what I set up already into engineering. So once I've completed all my actions, then what I want to do is I want to update the charts and graphs so I can incorporate those into the final presentation to the customer. Now before I do that, I might go ahead and select a currency that I'm working in. In this case I'm working in pounds. Then I'll just go to the form again and I'll say update reports. And I can see in the charts here how my current and future monthly volume and cost and inventory is affected by those actions. I can also see these in the tables that were created here, and I can go and look at specific departments that I'm using. So if I was just to look at, say for example, let's just look at sales and finance, it would show me what actions have occurred in those departments. Take out finance here. And so that allows me to look down on a more granular look. So in this case, what I've done is I've removed 5 devices, and as a result, it has reduced the cost considerably on a monthly basis. Now looking at volumes, reducing the same number of devices has actually allowed volume to increase. So the cost argument in favor of this case is quite strong. Have lower cost and more volume for the customer is a winning proposition. Then once I want to go to my final presentation, I can simply launch the PowerPoint presentation and select Update Links. And those charts are now incorporated into the final presentation here. And that's how the TCO analysis tool works and integrates into the customer presentation. Thank you.